Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Check. What up, world? It's the man with the plan, Burt McGurk, aka PR, the King of Hearts, and you are now tuned into Clocking Out, the podcast you listen to when you need to get motivated and inspired to doing bigger and better things. How you doing? How you living? How you been? Thank you for tuning into another episode of Clocking Out. I'm your host, PR, the King of Hearts, the man with the plan. And today, we're going to be talking about community and support, right? So we're going to be touching on a few things about that. Yes, today, POAPs are active again this week. So it's going to be the same like last week. We're going to be giving away 2 POAPs a day. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All right. Monday, today we're going to be giving a POAP during the stream. If you are active, if you're following and you're active during the live stream, you qualify to claim today's Clocking Out Hustle Proof POAP number 4. If you are not fortunate enough to join the live stream, you can still participate by keeping the conversation going, by sharing a public post, answering some of the questions that we asked today. I already have the questions ready to go. You have to answer the questions in a public post or in a comment, and you have to make sure that you tag or mention Clocking Out in whatever platform that you are replying in. You also have to be a follower. Make sure that you're following also as well, so you can keep up to date with all our updates, as well as if you get if you win a giveaway or you can claim a POAP. There's no other way for us to communicate with you unless it's through social media like that. So make sure that you got everything open and ready. Why are the comments not working over here? But so far, we got Leonardo in the chat chilling and kicking it with us on X. We got Robert chilling and kicking it with us on YouTube. Thank you, Robert, for coming and hanging with us. I truly appreciate it, my man. Hold on. Let me see. I keep getting these weird alerts. I don't know why it's not working. All right, so today, I'm thinking later on this week, we're going to be trying something different. Why does this sound so weird for some reason today? Like I'm not getting a good... There we go. Today, we're going to be doing the links for the POAPs. Just like we have been doing, but I'm going to be switching it up soon, okay? So soon it's going to be, you have to be paying attention during the live stream because I'm going to be giving a secret phrase. So you actually have to chill and hang out during the live stream. You have to be active in the chat. And when I'm ready to say the secret phrase after some time in the live stream, I'll be sure to ask you guys, for those who aren't subscribed yet, and there's an ad coming, I want to make sure that you have the same opportunity as everyone else to get the POAP. So I would be taking it, sharing it on the screen, and then you guys have to run over to your POAP app. You go to secret phrase, you put it in for that day, and you'll be able to claim that way, so we don't do the whole thing with claim links. I noticed last week when we were doing claim links that a few people, for some reason, when I gave them a link, it came up that it was claimed already, which I don't understand. So there was a few issues with that. So I want to try and play around with the secret phrases and the secret words, and doing that during the live stream. One, that lets me see exactly who's active and who's paying attention during the live stream in the chat. 2, I think it's another cool way to go about it, and it's more fun. So we're going to be trying out a few things. All right, guys. But today we're going to be talking about community and support. It's basically finding belonging and receiving support. So it's like, you can't always be in a situation where you're just looking for people to show you love and show up for you, but you can't show up for everybody else. And I have a hard time with that. I'm not going to lie. And it's not because I don't want to show up. It's because literally it's really hard for me to manage everything else I'm doing and still try to show up as often as I used to. If anyone knows how I was before in the community, in all of these communities, I literally was showing up to everything at every time. It didn't matter when it was. I was in every Discord. I was trying to be a part of every live event that they had. I was doing my best because at the time I wasn't in a position to do anything more than just show up and be active in the chat and give my 2 cents and, show love and support. And so I figured if I showed my dedication of just showing up and always being there, that they would see that, I really care about it. With that, I was able to meet people and everything like that. And those conversations turned into relationships, and those relationships turned into friendships, and and they just kept growing and building and so on and so forth. And then I was able to come across meeting a bunch of amazing people. And it's all because it was really my first time doing this whole VeeFriends thing that I started joining when I started joining the community and the whole NFT wave and all that stuff that was going on. That was my first time actually joining a community. The reason I bring that is because I believe that VeeFriends is a great example of what community should be like. If you don't know what VeeFriends are, I highly advise you go and check it out. Go Google it. Go check out Gary Vaynerchuk and what he's about, and let the snowball go from there, and you'll fall down the rabbit hole. Trust me. So shout out to Gary V. Shout out to VeeFriends. Shout out to the VeeFriends community. It's a bunch of our followers and supporters. Even the people in the chat right now, a big amount of them are from the VeeFriends community, which is why we get so much love and support, which is what I truly appreciate, which is why I wanted to make the giveaway prizes be VeeFriends, cards, merch, plushies, figurines, whatever I have in my little collection that I've been stacking up, and just try to show love and support. That's my way of giving back, basically, and trying to put a few other people on, or even people who are already in the community that are just looking to add to their collection, or maybe they don't have anything and they're trying to start, So if that's what you're trying to do, come chill, come kick it with us, claim a POAP, win a prize. But yeah, that was my first experience with community. And that got me to really start understanding, because if you're never really part of a community, in all honesty, and you just try to understand it by the way someone explains it or by looking it up, you're really not going to get a good idea of what real community is. I believe that you have to actually have like the full hands-on experience. You got to go to the events. You got to start talking to people. You got to join the lives. I always try my best to join in stuff. A lot of times I join in and I really don't make my presence known, because I just like to be like a fly on the wall. I want to come and show love and support. I also like to watch and take notes. I see, how and why other people are so successful at what they're doing, why it works, how they stay so consistent with the content that they're coming out with, whether it's people in the community that are doing live streams, or whether it's other live streamers that aren't part of the community that are just in the world of live streaming and creating content. I always try to learn from everyone and anyone that I can in any way possible. So whether it's me reaching out to them and seeing if they're willing to have a conversation and chop it up with me and drop some gems, or whether it's that I just learn and absorb from whatever content they're sharing and that I can obtain, what I'm saying, from just watching how they do things. But at the end of the day, I noticed that these communities really are just fueled by people who come together, who are very like-minded, who share similar thoughts and ideas and feelings of certain things. And that's what VeeFriends ended up capturing, not through the actual VeeFriends brand, but by the events and everything, like the VeeFriend characters and the brand and everything like that. And Gary Vaynerchuk brought a specific group of people together that literally have more in common than you would think. And I think that that's why the community is so strong. It's built by a whole bunch of people, and it's made of a whole bunch of people that are literally just looking for a safe place to be themselves, to feel comfortable, to express their thoughts and ideas, to share their thoughts and opinions, and not have to worry about being criticized or judged or, told that they can or they shouldn't, or, and that's what that community makes and gives off to people. It gives people that feeling of feeling safe and surrounded by people who aren't going to judge you, and that no matter what, you could be yourself. And it's allowed people such as myself and many others to really branch out and do things like this, like podcasting and creating content on a more consistent basis without really worrying about what people think or who's watching or what they're going to say or anything like that. Like, that's the whole premise behind it. It's just being yourself, finding what you love to do and letting that shit kill you. That's literally like the whole goal behind all of this stuff. Stop overthinking, stop stressing. Think about what it is that you really want that makes you happy. Find a way to make it work. Stay consistent, stay dedicated, motivated, and keep at it, and it'll happen. But when it comes to all the excuses of people stopping you from going for it, that's what the community is more focused on, more about. It's just staying positive, staying motivated, and giving those encouraging words or that encouraging energy and vibe to the people who are very talented but just hold themselves back for very dumb reasons, in the sense of like worrying about what others think. You know, with the society that we're in right now and the way that social media is, I believe that it's well past that. It's to the point where everyone wants to be seen, but they don't want to be judged. Everyone wants to put content online because they love the attention, but only when it's truly beneficial to them. When it's something to the point that it's really judging their character or making people look at them differently, that's when they start really getting in their head, like, you know what, maybe I don't want certain people to do this, and then they'll put their profile private, or they'll start making content without showing their face. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's only until you get that deep into it that you really start to understand there's certain levels to it, and there's certain things that come with it that whether you like it or not, you're gonna have to deal with it. You can't take one thing without taking the other when it comes to this content creating, social media branding, and all that stuff, and live streaming, podcasting, whatever it is that you want to do, because that's the thing. It doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter what you want to do. Everything nowadays revolves around social media, just because the cell phone is literally, it replaced the radio, it replaced the TV, it replaced so many things as far as us consuming content, that you have to have a social media in order to let people know who you are, what you're doing, what you're selling, why you're selling it, why they need it, how you know what I mean? It's the ages of websites and all that. Yes, yes, you need a website. I mean, not necessarily, but yes, like a good majority of people still use websites and everything like that. But let's be honest, no one's going to a specific brand or a specific person's website. They're going to the big social media profiles where they're expecting that brand, that artist, that person, that service to have an account there so they can check it out. And it's more comfortable for them. It's more comfortable for them to just jump on Instagram and go to the search bar and put whatever it is and look for it and look at the pictures and the videos. It's more easier for a person to go on Google, or I mean on X, and just look them up that way, or TikTok, and look it up before they go and waste their time to go and check out this food place or this person, or buy the brand. Or that's what a lot of people do nowadays, and they rely on the content that other people make, or they rely on the content that that brand, that artist, that whatever it is that they're doing makes and shares online. It's literally the equivalent of going to a very nice expensive restaurant and them not having pictures of it, and a person who's really rich and has a lot of money and deep pockets wants to go and enjoy themselves, but then they think it's not worth it because of the fact that there's no pictures for them to see, or no videos of people giving reviews on the food, or no actual reviews in general, period. Like, that helps. Those things, like, no one really takes a risk of just going to a place and checking out if it's good or not, or trying out a brand or service, or and just being like, you know what, everyone nowadays depends on going on social media and seeing some type of review or some type of comparison or something, video or photo, for them to get a thing in their mind to be like, you know what, yes and no, so that they have a certain expectation of it. So what I'm really trying to say is, at the end of the day, building community, having support, all of that is very important. But there's a method to the madness. You have to make sure that you're going about it in the right way. So what does community mean to you? Where, like, when you're chasing something bigger than yourself, what does community really mean to you? You know what I mean? Like, are you just using it as a platform to launch whatever you're trying to do and make it bigger and better? Are you actually focused on providing a good service, product, or brand? Are you like what is it that you're trying to do? What is it that you want a community for? Because everyone and their mother wants a community. It's like having an iPhone. Everybody and their mom has an iPhone. But do you really need an iPhone? Or you just want it because everyone has an iPhone and you don't want to be the one person to text and come up with a green screen or a green bubble? You get what I'm saying? So it's things like that that I think people should ask themselves. It's me, and I always thought, like, yes, I want a community, I want this and that. But in all honesty, like, I think about it and I see other people going crazy with communities, and they're held at a certain expectation, and sometimes it doesn't work out that way, and then the communities can turn on you, or not getting the reaction from the community that you created or that you think you have, and not having the response for something that you tried doing, and then it could be very discouraging. You know what I mean? I think there's something very freeing in the way that I do this, in the sense that I just come on here and I do it. I really don't have a real focus. I haven't really, I mean, I don't really have a target audience or nothing that I'm really focusing on. I come on here and I do my thing and I put it out, and I hope that whoever likes it watches it. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be that way. I should have a plan. I should have something structured. I should have something organized and in a tactical way or whatever. But in all honesty, like the way I really look at it is like if I look at it that way, I start overthinking too much. If I miss certain points or I miss things that I'm trying to, and then I'll be like, oh, it's messed up. And then it's not, I don't want to finish it. I feel like I should just cut it because it's already messed up. What's the point? Like, but when I do it more like this, I don't overthink as much because I'm freestyling it. I'm just going with it. I'm going with the flow. I know within the hour or whatever that I'm streaming, there's some good stuff in there. I know that I put some good points together, some good questions, and I know it's just based solely off of my firsthand experience of what I know that I know for a fact. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to be talking about things that I don't know about. You know, I don't want to be talking about how to do this and that if I haven't done it and I don't have the proof to back it up. You know what I mean? I want to be able, I don't want to waste your time. So that's the same, like thinking of that. I don't look at, like, in all honesty, it could go both ways. You can think that way and just focus on your brand. But in all honesty, I'm thinking that way and I'm focusing on credibility because of the fact that it's not just me. This podcast isn't just me. This live stream isn't just me. Like, yes, I'm the one who created it. I'm the host. But a good majority of the time, I always have guest speakers on here. And the last thing that I want is for someone to come on here and attach their name, their brand, their service, their product, and have it affiliated with something that they're embarrassed about or something that's going to devalue what they're doing, because I don't want to do that. I care about this and having integrity and respect. And, you know, I don't want anyone to regret that they ever came on here or spoke to me or shared anything, or that they have content with me in some type of way, or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. I want to be able that whatever I'm doing is beneficial to the people watching, listening, sharing, taking the time to come and participate, taking the time to come and hang with us, whether it's live or whether it's after the fact. Regardless of what, that's time you could be putting to anything else, but instead you're giving it to me. You get what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's currency. That's something. So that's why I do the things like the giveaways and the POAPs and stuff. I want to be able to give you something back and make it interesting, you know, make it fun, because at the end of the day, what the fuck are we doing all this shit? You know what I mean? Why are you watching? Why am I posting? Like, if I'm not doing something to help you in a beneficial way, some type of way, like making your day better, helping you like get a clearer mindset or focus on something or figure out a problem that you're having or point you in the right direction of someone else that could do better at helping you than I can, like, that's the whole point. So when it comes to community, I think of all that stuff. I focus on that because I expect that same effort, that same energy, that same respect, integrity, and just thought into what they're doing, especially as far as the value of my time. I expect that from anyone else I give it to. So that's why I try my best to give it to anyone who gives it to me. You know, I took a lot of time trying to be crew, like all these designs and all these, like, and at the end of the day, like, I stopped. I had like this whole theme and the whole story thing put, and I was so into it, like brand wise, that I really wasn't doing what I was supposed to content wise. I really wasn't focusing on the actual followers and supporters that I had. You know, like that I was like already worried and stressing and thinking about the ones that haven't even gotten here yet. The ones that I like haven't even hit follow, the ones who haven't even claimed the POAP, the one I'm like, yo, why am I doing that? So it's like that same thing I want you guys to think about when you're trying to build brand or community, even if it's not that you're building a brand or a service or a product or whatever it is, and you're just literally trying to surround yourself with other people that you know is going to add value to your life in some type of way. Excuse me, I had to burp. But for those, like, you want to make sure that you're around people that they set good values for you. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like no matter what your age is, you're always looking at people around you for inspiration, for advice. You know what I'm saying? For guidance. Like, I don't care who you are, how old you are. I don't care how bad you think you are, or how perfect you think you are, or how much you think you know. I believe that there's everyone that they surround themselves with a person or two, or maybe a group of people that they inspire to be in some type of way or form. There's one or two of your friends that you look at, and one you look at like, damn, man, I wish I was dedicated to being in shape like he was. Or and you look at another one like, man, I wish I was as good as my finances as he was with his. Or I wish I knew as much as certain things like this person did. And it's not to dumb yourself down or lower yourself down and devalue yourself. But at the end of the day, I know that whether it's the people that you surround yourself with, the content you consume, the people you follow on social media, there's a certain level of wanting something that they have, which is why it attracts you to it. Whether it's their happiness, their vibes, their opinions, or whatever it is, and it helps mold you and evolve you in some type of way. A lot of people tend to forget about that. The conversations you have, the interactions you have with people, that helps make you into the person that you're turning into, the person that you're gonna become. It doesn't matter what age you are. You're always continuously going to keep learning if you're willing to. But if you stop and you assume that you know everything and there's nothing that you can benefit from anybody, I guarantee you're going to put yourself in a very nasty situation. Because when the time comes that you're going to need the help, you're going to have to stop whatever the fuck you're doing, change your ways, and listen. And actually try what other people are telling you to get yourself out of that situation. And you're going to be so hard-headed that you're either not going to want to no matter what, or no one's even going to want to bother because of the fact that you've been so hard-headed. They know it's not going to get through your head and they don't want to waste the time. So it's things like that I say keep in mind. Keep in mind by not only the community and the support that you're trying to get and that you have around you, because sometimes it could be disguised as support, and really it's jealousy, it's hatred, it's just like it's judgment. But they're just like acting and like they're rooting for you, and they wait for that one day that you have that one little slip up and they make it bigger than it's supposed to be, and they throw you off your whole game, and they take your whole aura or vibe or whatever it is that you got going on, and then you realize that you're like in this funk and you don't know where it's coming from. Like you're in this hole that doesn't want to seem to like not be like it, like you're not stopping from going deeper and deeper down this hole of like feeling unmotivated or like nothing's working. And a lot of the times, man, it's because we're surrounded by people who are eating and killing that energy that we had, that positive energy, that momentum, that confidence, and it's literally for nothing else, just in that they're jealous. And a lot of the times it happens from people that don't even realize that they're jealous. A lot of the times, like they'll be jealous and they don't understand because they believe jealousy is just pertain to one thing, when in honesty it could be in many different forms. So they could be jealous not only of your lifestyle, of just you being happy in general. Like your life could be worse than theirs and they don't even know it. But just because you come off like you have a good life and you're just focused on the good and you stay positive and you're always looking at the better side of things, like it can always seem like, oh, this person's living a great life, but really, like, you don't even know what they're going through. They're just good at faking the funk and putting that smile on and that mask on so that they can get through the day and that no one's bothering them. Like, what's wrong? Are you okay? There's a lot of different things. It's the same thing with social media and people creating communities. Why is this like not focusing? Oh, there we go. And it's the same thing. So when you're trying to create a community or you're focused on trying to build that thing of support, make sure that you're actually paying attention and focusing on the right people. Like I got so many people, man, that I feel like I hope they don't think like I forgot about them, man. I got Jesse. We call him Jesse. Is Jesus, Jesus, my MMA bro over there, man, doing his damn thing. Oos. We also got Jolly Will. Jolly, everyone knows him as Jolly Jacko. We got Jolly. He also does stuff, I think it's with Sam. And I believe it is Sam. Is it Sam and Jolly? I believe it is. And he filled out a form, and I don't want him to think I forgot about him neither. But I stopped doing interviews for a while to focus on just doing some solo content for a little bit. I felt like I haven't done that. So I haven't been booking any new guest speakers, and a lot of people have reached out trying to do it. And I was like, for like a week or so, I want to try doing some solo stuff and try some stuff out, but we definitely can, hit some stuff and do more guest speaker things. But I wanted to switch it up, man. After you do the same thing over and over, you feel the repetitiveness, and then you want to like try to change stuff. So I wanted to switch it up. And but there's so many people, man. And you got Ann Bags. Ann Bags is putting in so much work. She sent me not that long ago. I say not that long ago, and it probably was just in my mind. I know it was like a couple months ago. She sent me a care package of some stuff that I've added to the vault for people to try and win also as well. She gave me a handful of things. I know one of them I'm gonna keep, you know, as a memento, I guess you could say. You know, I have a few things that I got from a bunch of people. I also went out my way to go and purchase a few things from the same people in these communities that are creating, that are artists, and that are also content creators and streamers. You know, I got from Iben Kind. I bought a few pieces from him. Also, some collaborations he did with Josh Courage. I'm getting confused when people go online and what their real names are. So if I mess up a little bit, I'm sorry. But we got Josh Courage. I know I haven't seen or spoken to Josh. I mean, seen as far as gone to his streams or spoken to Josh Courage in a while. Also, everybody from To the Moon. That's another thing. I know that they're still doing their thing, but they're mostly on Whatnot now, if I'm not mistaken. Tim Livingston, Gamble, I know he's on there, man, and he be doing his damn thing. I stay seeing him, you know, out there mingling and networking with people. What's going on, Robert? Oh, he's on X now. I got you, Robert. Good looking out, my man. I really appreciate the love and support. You guys are nonstop. Y'all are crazy with the support. I love that, man. But there's so many people, and I have a hard time staying connected with people. As much as they reach out to me, as much as they call me, they text, I'm really bad at reaching out to people. And at times it could come off like I don't care, or like, oh, whatever, and it's really not that. I'm just the type of person that when I do have the opportunity to hit someone up, I feel like I'm bothering them. I feel like if I don't have anything of value to give them or offer them in that conversation, I feel like I'm bothering them. So I try not to. I know everyone has things going on, and it's just weird. And I know a lot of people like, oh, you can't be like that. You have to understand this whole thing of communicating with people in a community that I don't see on a daily basis is like really, really, really new to me. Like I've been trying, and when I say new to me, I've been trying to do this like since COVID, because that's what it kind of forced people to do, was to network and speak with people online. And again, all of this is pertaining to the topic and the focus of today, which is community and support. And so I guess I don't know the rules yet when it comes to being friends and cool with people online and reaching out. Like it feels weird sometimes. What I have been doing more of is I've been trying to get better at it, but with my own friends that I actually see or that I haven't seen, but that are like close by, that I know I'm in reach of. Not to say that they're more valuable than anybody else. It's not like that. But I figured I'm more comfortable doing it with them in the sense of sending them DMs, or, you know, I'll send them voice notes asking how they are, or trying to give them updates of how I've been, or videos. I do that a lot with Eric and Brian. They have like a group thing on Instagram, and I'll like send them a thing of me in the morning or in the afternoon. And then they'll be like, yo, I'm following your lead and I'm sending a video back. And, you know, and it's turned into like a little thing now. And, but it's just a few examples of things that I do just with specific people I'm comfortable with, that I know if I feel some type of way, or if I'm doing it in a way that it doesn't come off right, they'll be honest with me and be like, yo, it's kind of weird, or like, you shouldn't do that, or I get what you're doing, but instead just send it. Like, I just try to come up with different ways. I know that everyone's always busy, everyone's always working. Everything that is hold on, let's see. We got Robert put up. We're gonna actually show this on the stream. Robert says in the comments, I mean in the chat, everything that is Web3 is maintained by community. That is to say that it needs a community. It is what sustains you if you have a project. No, I do believe that. And that's the thing. So now the question is, Robert, do you think that's only if you have a product or service or brand? Like, what if you're just a person like such as myself? Like, I don't think I have a product or service or nothing like that, but I do think I'm trying to make a brand. And to do that, I use myself a lot because I'm the guest speaker, I'm the host or whatever. So I'm trying to get better at putting myself more out there, because a lot of the times I get self-conscious of myself, how I look, how I speak, and all that. So I tend to mostly focus on the guest speaker, what they're doing and what they have going on, because a lot of the times I feel like no one cares what I have going on, or I have nothing that's interesting, right? But I like having conversations. I like learning. I like trying to edit and all that stuff like that. So that's what I get out of the conversations I have with the guest speakers and trying to help them and shed more light on what they're working on. But I do agree with what you're saying. I do feel that everything that is Web3 based is maintained by a community. Because if you don't have a community, like you don't, I feel like Web3 is a lot of word of mouth. As much as there's so much stuff online, and yes, you can make ads and everything, I feel like what you really depend on is word of mouth. And it's the same thing with like NFTs and stuff like that in crypto. Like, yes, you can go online and you can research a specific NFT project or a certain crypto, but at the same time, it really doesn't work that way. You have to know the people that started that project. You have to know more about those people. You have to know about the community that supports that project, that coin, that NFT, whatever it is. Because a lot of the times when it comes to crypto and NFT and anything in Web3 based, what I realize for right now, and I'm trying my best to find ways to change it in my own way, I guess, but for right now, Web3 is solely looked at from what I see. And if I'm wrong in the chat, you guys tell me if I'm wrong in the chat or if you guys feel some other way. I think this is interesting as well. I feel like Web3 is mostly looked at as a tool to get financial gain in some type of way. I don't think anyone really cares right now. There are people that care about it, but I feel like the reason it's popular and the majority of the people using it only use it to try and get a financial gain in some type of way. They're trying to flip money in crypto. They're trying to raise money or get money for an NFT project or something. But I feel like it's always pertaining to something with money. And a lot of the times people are just ignoring the actual blockchain technology aspect of it all, and that stops people from being creative as far as what they can do with it. Right now, I believe it's so limited. Just be like a blockchain is very, very powerful. I believe it could do it could do a lot of good in the world if it's done the right way. But just like anything else, there's a right and there's a wrong way, and there's always going to be good and bad people, and there's going to be people that are going to take advantage of it in some type of negative way. It's bound to happen. But my thing is, if people would actually stop for a second and stop focusing on the financial side of things and actually focus on the technology side of things and what's actually possible with it, I believe that we would be a lot further in the creative side of things, I guess you could say, when it comes to blockchain. Because that's why I like using POAPs. I think POAPs are a great way to get people to understand blockchain or digital wallets or crypto or how that works, because it's literally the same thing from setting it up and everything like that and claiming something and copying the code and all. It's the same thing, but I feel like it gives people a better hands-on experience without having to worry about buying a coin and losing the coin or losing money or getting robbed or getting hacked or no. Yes, like it's still possible, but it gives them a better idea of like, okay, now I understand it. And I feel like once people understand the process, how it works and why it's beneficial or why it's dangerous and how to avoid that and all, when they understand that on a more basic level, I think that they'll be more comfortable using it. Because right now I feel like everything is just looked at like, oh, people just use it to get money and to scam people, and so that's why it's not really a big thing. But if people just focused on the technology behind it, the security behind it, and how it's beneficial in so many ways versus other things, I think that we would have been along, like it would have been something really integrated to the phones where everyone's using like AI right now. Everyone's using AI because they're lazy and they want to use all these things and it's fun and it keeps them entertained and it talks to them and it's a great thing. But if no one really gave it a shot, like using Alexa and Siri and all that, and it was done some other way, people would have been like, no, I don't. Like, you got to think about it. It's like people were uncomfortable using the freaking chips on phones for quite a while. And now it's like second nature. Now everyone literally I tap my phone everywhere. And I was one of those people too. I'm never going to get the chip. I'm only going to use cash. And then I just got tired of fucking going to the bank and taking out cash or getting to places and them saying that they don't take cash, that you just automatically adapt to that ecosystem and you just find yourself in it. And then it's just like you're saying, everything that's Web3 based is maintained by a community. But that's why I felt like this was a good topic to talk about today. Like, are you actually building community because you care about providing someone with some value in some type of way and how it's going to affect them? Or are you just worried about getting support so that you look good, sound good, and make money? You know, are you looking to be a part of a community because you actually want to learn and surround yourself with like-minded people that are going to help and lift you up and keep moving you forward and let you know that you're in a safe place surrounded by people who aren't going to judge you and you can be yourself? Or are you just looking for a community that you can go to and take advantage of in ways of getting what you want and need when you wanted it and just fucking saying fuck it? You know what I mean? It's no different than like joining a family and saying like you care about them, but then you're only around when you need help. And it's like, that's how I feel sometimes when I know I can't show up for certain things and I used to talk about it so much in my live streams and everything. And I share this because I'm pretty sure other people feel the same way. Before I started this new position in this job, I knew what it was going to require and I knew the sacrifices that I was going to have to make. If anyone knows, and this is why I like POAPs and certain things, if anyone knows how I was in the beginning, I was on everything for everybody, any chance that I got, like whether I was at work, whether I was doing Uber, DoorDash, whatever it was, like I had my phone and I was watching, like I wanted people to see my name and see that I was there and see that I cared. I listened to the conversation. I'd hear what they were saying. I'd give a response. It got to the point that I felt like, one, I was being annoying. Two, like I got blackballed for, I guess, doing too much. And so I was like, you know what, let me hold back. But then I started asking myself, like, why do I feel like I'm being genuine, that I really want to support these people and like put people out there and just show them like, yo, like you got a good thing going, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Because it was something that I wanted when at the time I wasn't doing nothing. But when I was doing my music as an independent artist, I'm like, yo, I wish I had this type of thing and this community thing existed. And it did. It's just, I didn't know how to go about it. So once I got into it, I got addicted to it as far as being in the community and having people actually critique what I was doing and give me real feedback, and realizing that when you get actual feedback from someone who really takes the time to listen, critique, and think about what they're going to say before they tell you, because they actually give a fuck, like you could take that and actually get some beneficial feedback and actually change, and something can actually work, and you can grow and you can build and you can get better and you can. But I was surrounding myself with people that were literally just saying what I wanted to hear because it was what you did. You know what I mean? Like someone said, oh, do I look ugly? No, you look good. Meanwhile, you take them out with you and they're looking fucking hideous. And it's not because it matters or anything like that, but they're depending on you to make sure that they don't, you're their second pair of eyes, their ears, and, you know, they don't want to make a fool of themselves. Like, it's just like me hitting up Eric and Brian in that group chat and sending them a video and everything, and seeing what their reactions like before I try testing it out on like the community of people that are complete strangers, and they'll take it in some type of way. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same way of that. Like, you want to make sure that you don't cross a line of like, am I doing too much? Not enough? Do they think I care? Do they think? And that's what I've played around for so much. And I realized that none of that really matters. At the end of the day, man, people are going to come and go. People are going to say and think and feel whatever the hell they want. It doesn't matter. You can't control any of that. And all I can do and all I ask anyone else to do is be yourself 100%, no matter what the situation is, no matter what you got going on, no matter what you're trying to do, be yourself. Don't do things for the sake of expecting something in return, because you're going to be really surprised when you don't get the the response, the reaction, or the results that you expected. And that happens. And when you're trying to do all this, like you sit there and sometimes you feel like you're doing too much. Sometimes you feel like you're not doing enough, not only on the supporting side, but on the building and providing people with stuff side. So it's like, it's hard to find that balance that, you know, you're doing it right. You know, it's working, you know, you should do it this way, you know, like, so it's playing around with a lot of stuff. But again, back to what Robert said, yes, man, I do think it relies on that. And because I see that, I'm wondering if just like everything is like that now. If everything is based off having a social media account, building a following, being consistent with content and keeping people's attention and awareness of what you're doing and what's coming out and what's going to drop and why they should get it from you and no one else. And It's a lot, man. It's a lot. And at the end of the day, I feel like, when does it go from you doing something you care about and you enjoy and actually giving value and something beneficial to people, and when does it turn into, all right, I got to do this for the algorithm to keep my followers and to keep my views and likes and comments and keep inventory moving, and you know what I mean? And do you keep going, or do you stop and say, all right, fuck it, let me just try to figure something? Like, there's so many ways to go about it. But in those situations, I believe it's very important to have a community and have a support system, because they'll be honest with you. If you do it the right way, the people will be. It's like you guys. You guys come in here and you chill and you hang out. But a lot of the times, I feel like, not you guys, but the way I used to do it before, I would get people like spamming and just coming in here just to get a POAP. And you could tell it was bots or whatever the hell from the conversations I would have with them. But a lot of you hit me up. A lot of you hit me up in the DMs, whether you're in the live stream, whether you missed the live stream, and you guys still go into detail about what I talk about. You guys still go as far as, even if you claim the one in the live stream, you'll go and you'll put a post and you'll answer questions and you're going deep in depth with it. Even in the DMs, after you do it in DMs, you'll do it again and do a completely different answer to a completely different question, and you'll post it online and keep the conversation going. It's little things like that that I noticed, and I'm like, all right, they're not just here for this and that. They're actually interested in it. They actually want to show love and support. They actually know what's going on. They actually listened to what I said and the questions, or they know enough. They didn't catch everything, but they caught enough to know that, you know, this and this. And if you do, it's those things that I look at, because it goes to show you're paying attention and you care enough and have enough respect. You get what I mean? And that all that is important. And it's like, for a while I was losing sight of that, and I was focused on all the wrong shit, man. So it's like, that's why now I'm cool with the good handful of people coming in here. Like, the most people I get is like at least 49 to 50 people or something like that coming and tuning in the live stream, and I'm cool with that. I'm completely cool with that. I love that. I love the fact that I don't have to worry about so many people either judging or meeting their expectations or nothing like that. Like, I like it like the way it is right now, because I'm still in the learning process and it's working. It's building. You guys give me actual real feedback, and I feel like it's genuine. And I've been listening to what you guys are saying. I've been trying it out, and it's been fucking working. The numbers of who comes in and chills have been growing. The people who have been claiming the POAPs have been growing. All right, maybe I need to work on explaining more rules. I'm sorry, Robert. I know I messed up, and there was some miscommunication in the way that we did things, and you weren't able to connect your wallet to join the giveaway, man. I'm sorry about that. And it's little things like that it's a learning thing for me. I gotta make things more clear. I got to do better at making sure I'm connecting with you guys more. I have to use all these different features of starting chats and group. I need to get better at that. It's difficult to maintain a community and the people who are really interested in its content. Yes, you know what I realized? That was, you know what, let me put it up here. That was from Leonardo. You know what I realized, Leonardo? More often than not, people do not support creativity anymore. They support popularity. That's what I've noticed. People support popularity. Yeah, no, you're definitely right. You're definitely right. It's difficult. It is difficult. It's difficult to get, you know what it is, that by the time people actually start building a community or getting attention and it starts picking up momentum, they're running out of steam. They're running out of the fuel. They're running out of that drive, because they already put so much in. So by the time that someone sees them, they're like, damn, really now? Like, and it sucks, but that's the way the game is, man. That's the way the game is. Sometimes you don't get noticed until your third, fourth, fifth, sixth year. And it's me, man. I was an independent music artist for a long time, and I'm gonna do something to go in depth to how connected I got with the people that I came across. Because if I just say it, it's going to sound like name dropping, but the number one thing that I love, which I always did, that I got made fun of all the time, I was the kid, or I was the guy that always went around with a camera. And this is before we had the little cell phone. I mean, the big VHS fucking, I was with that around recording everything. Every interaction I had, every studio session, every recording, every video shoot, like all that, all of it. And if once I put it out there, you're going to see, and people will understand that I was around certain people in certain situations that, in all honesty, if you would have at the time, if you would have been like, you saw that person, or you talked to this person on this many times, and that you were famous, or you were rich, or you were like, just because of the way it looked and seemed or whatever, and it didn't work out that way. No matter what I did and how many conversations I had, like I had so many conversations, or I had so many instances where it was like, yo, we made it, or this is the. And bro, like once you really realize the amount of hurdles and walls and doors and all this that you got to go through just to break through that one, because a lot of the artists and all these people that are famous and pop, it's not the whole thing of, oh, they got lucky and no, they know somebody that knows something and they got to connect and they skipped and jumped up to the front of the line. That's literally, I know a lot of people don't like to hear it, but that's really what the hell it is when it comes to certain things in this entertainment industry. And when I started understanding that and I saw it, and then it's like, yeah, there's ways to cut the line and to get up there, but it's like, are you really okay with that? Because it was me. They wanted me to do, like, I already had an image, a name, and everything in my head, and I didn't want to like change who I was. It was like me, but a more like exaggerated version of me. PR, the king, like that was me. They wanted me to change my name. At the time, everything was like little this, baby that, and they wanted to try out something like that. They wanted me to change my hair color and like do it like a blondish, greenish, like some weird, like they had all these different suggestions and everything just in order for me to get a contract or a temporary deal for a couple thousands of dollars. And they can own the music that I was creating and test out what they thought would work for me to get attention for people to start building like and I didn't want to do it. And then even with that, I saw a person, the next, like I passed up on it and I saw the next person that took it after me. And thank God I didn't, because that person didn't even go nowhere. And they jeopardized who they were, their name, their integrity, and all, just for a few $1,000s. And then now it's to the point that they feel like, I've spoken to this person, they feel embarrassed to even try to get back into it just for the way that they did things. You know what I mean? And it was things that I was worried about happening to me. So knowing that I passed it up and someone else took it and they ended up with the results that I was expecting, if I would have, it's a good thing that I did it. But it's with that you start noticing that people do certain things just to keep people's attention, just to keep them around, you know? So it's kind of rough to see these live streamers and these podcasters and influencers and stuff go on, because you really don't know if that's really them. You know what I mean? Like they record themselves like anywhere from 12 to 13 hours a day, man, going crazy. Like, or maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it was anywhere from like 5 to 6 or 8 hours or some shit. I don't know. But and you assume that everything is like, oh, it's them, but then a lot of the times everything is acted out and everything is scripted, and then you have random people that show up and they're really not random, and then you find out later on that all these things are just like scripted events that they're just really good at making it seem like it's natural. And then you just start asking yourself, is that what social media is now? Just like faking the funk and doing stuff for attention? Because then that's all it is. People are just liking people because they're popular off of the attention that they have. Not because they're talented, not because they're creative, not because they're doing anything new or exciting or innovative or valuable, or they're a clown. Like they're a jester. And it's not to downplay anything anyone's doing, but it's like you said, like it's hard to keep a community. So does it really take that? Do people come in here and then they notice that's the trick to the algorithm, doing something to embarrass themselves or doing something that's completely out of pocket just to keep the algorithm happy, to keep so then at that point, are you really building a community and support because you're actually trying to do something, or are you just worried about having people follow you so that you can keep the numbers up? And that's what sucks when you can never tell. Yes. Like Robert said, many times communities fall for minor things, especially when they handle money like the DOA. Yes. There's DAOs. For those who don't know what DAOs are, I suggest you go check it out. But I do agree with you. Like on paper and saying it out loud, things like DAOs sound amazing. And they would, I know some that have worked, but it was a very small amount, and it wasn't something that could have been duplicated. It wasn't something that was done more than once, but there were a handful that I witnessed and that I wasn't a part of, but that I was watching, because I thought, like, again, when you explain what a DAO is and how people go about it, and then the intent behind it that people have, or at least that they say they have, it's a great fucking thing. It's a great thing. And when communities can come together to do stuff like that, to either come, whether it's for one main cause or helping a specific group of people or a specific person or reaching a goal to do a project, like any of those situations, like, it's a great thing. And if it was done correctly or with the right people, like, you start noticing that there's a lot of benefits to it and a lot of good can come out of it. But it's like you said, it's very hard because it's always in a position where there's, whether it is or it isn't the actual fact, it's always to the point where it seems as if someone is overseeing somebody else, or someone has more authority or power than this. And no matter how many meetings or live streams or conversations you have in the Discord and all this stuff like that, it's always going to get to a point where someone is going to spark that flame of like, but why? Why this? And how much this? And what happened to this? And where's this going? And why is it taking so much time? And it only takes that one little crack of a person to make that crack in that wall that they have, or in that dam that they're trying to build. And that's it. Then everyone else starts questioning, like, it has been a while. Why hasn't nothing happened? Or why is it like, and then it goes, oh, I want my money back, or I don't want it, or I want proof of this. And then the whole system like gets out of whack, because a lot of people don't understand that it's not as easy as just give it and take it and do this and do. And a lot of it gets explained properly in the beginning, and a lot of it doesn't. So a lot of people get misled. A lot of people misunderstand. A lot of people like, and it's the same. And it's not just with DAOs. It's the same thing with any project. You start a project, you start asking for this, you have people supporting you, and then you start going the complete opposite way of what they expected or what you're trying to say. And people just start losing faith in what a community is and supporting artists and all. And that's what sucks, man. You got people that really want to do something good and that are trying their best to like be positive and do something different. But then you have others that they'll probably start with the good intentions, but once they get a taste of like the possibilities of what they could do, they start pushing the lines of taking advantage. And then it makes the rest of the people who are trying to do the same thing look bad, even though they have actual good intentions. They have an actual plan. They have an actual thing of consistent, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it sucks, man. But it's tricky, man. You and Leonardo are both right, bro. Like, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to build a community, to keep a community and sustain it. It always crumbles down in some way, shape, or form. Always. I've noticed that. I've seen many little communities. I'm sure you guys have also. I've seen many communities come and go. And a lot of the times it was always over petty things, over little petty minor things, like you said. And but a lot of the times it's always because of money. It's always because of money. It's always because of attention, power, in the sense of who sits where and says what and controls what. Like, it's a lot of things, man. When I think the problem with these communities, with a lot of communities, is that people become so close that, yes, it's a positive in a way because it feels like family and friends and everything, but the negative is that people get extremely comfortable, and one or two things happen. They get comfortable and they get too comfortable in sharing, expressing. Yes. Hold on. Why is it coming up late here? Robert said something also good. Many times the fights in a DAO come about because of who does more or less and in the distribution of money. Yes. Yes, whether it's distribution of money or the distribution of work amongst the people in the DAO and how they're doing it and all that. And I do agree with you. Like I said, it just gets a thing of comfortability. It gets to a point where people get too comfortable in the community. They look at everyone as friends and families, and they either share too much to the point that people, as messed up as it's going to sound, some people get to the malicious side of things and use that as a weakness to take advantage of others. Or people get too comfortable in the sense that they look at it like, yo, you know what? Like, they're just going to do what I say. So I know this person's not going to say nothing or do nothing. I know this person's going to believe me if I say, like, it's too many ways to go about it. But I believe that's where the problem is. Everyone goes into it very nice, kind, and friendly, and they get too comfortable with each other. And it turns into like a family matter type of situation, in the sense of, like, you know, when you're arguing, fighting with your family, you get too comfortable. So you'll say things that, you know, you shouldn't say, that's just a little too deep. You know what I mean? And then within that community, that DAO, that thing, just like family, little cliques start breaking off in little groups, and then you guys start side commenting, and those start building up, and then that turns into a little. It's like high school. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen when people aren't truly transparent in every way, shape, or form, and upfront and honest, whether they're upset, whether they're happy, what they like, what they don't like, and they're mature enough to really just talk about it instead of just pointing the finger and saying, I don't like it, it's your fault, change it. Like, a lot can happen. But the other thing is that I feel like people need to be in a way better situation, not just financially. Yes, don't get involved in buying NFTs or getting involved in a DAO and dedicating to do this much or whatever it is, like, and you're not able to do it. And then you just assume that it was going to pay off, or you were going to get this, like, you know, and it's not happening. And now you're like, oh, I want all my money back, or I can't do this, or I don't have. You have to make sure you're in the right situation. Financially, mentally, like, you have to be patient. You have to understand that if there's a problem, like, it's not just you that's in this thing. It doesn't, and it, again, this is not just specifically with DAOs, it's communities in general and everything like that. You're in a community and you care about the community. The whole thing is to make sure that you guys work stuff out and you fix it, you know, no matter what the problem is. But there shouldn't be like things of like he said, she said, and all. It's not high school, man. You guys should be focusing on the main goal and doing that. I don't know what I ate. I keep burping for some reason. I'm sorry. But no, I agree with you, man. So that's why it's like, it's tricky. That's why it's like, I say I'm cool with it being a handful of you guys. Like, again, right now we're at 42. We're at 42 viewers right now. You know what? Let's check and see what we got going on. We got 38 people kicking it with us on X. We got 3 people on YouTube, and we got 1 on Twitch. Thank you guys so much for showing the love and support. I'm actually just noticed the time, so we're actually gonna be breaking out of here right now. So shout out to Leonardo. Shout out to Robert. Thank you guys for coming and chilling. You guys are the only 2 who were active in the chat, who added to the conversation. You guys get to claim today's Clocking Out Hustle Proof POAP number 4. I'll be sending you guys a link right after this live stream. Make sure you check your DMs. Robert, I got you on X also. I'm gonna send it to both of you guys on X. I'm following you guys on X. I need to think of a way to make sure I can track everybody's social media, no matter where they are. Robert likes to jump on a lot of them and show love and support, man. I truly appreciate that. That helps me a lot. You don't even know, man. But all right, man, we're gonna be getting out of here. Leonardo, I hope you have a great night or a great morning wherever you are, man. So either good night or good morning. And the same for you too, Robert. Thank you, man, for coming by and showing love. I truly appreciate you guys and everybody else who's tuning in, whether you're listening, whether you're watching. Thank you guys for the love and support. Make sure that you hit follow. Make sure that you subscribe. Share this with someone else that you think it might help, or at least spark a conversation that you guys can come and kick it and, you know, just come up with some solutions with each other. But I truly appreciate it. We'll be going more in depth with this even after the stream and some questions. For those who were not able to join the live stream and you're watching this after the fact, do not forget that you can still claim a POAP. You can claim the ClockingOut VeeFriends Giveaway POAP number 4 for today. And you could do that all the way into the end of the week. All right. All of the ClockingOut VeeFriend giveaway POAPs you can win or you can claim after the live stream, but it doesn't need to be that day. Being that today is day 1 of this week for Monday, we go live again on Wednesday and we go live again on Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on each day. But each of those days triggers the start for those ClockingOut VeeFriend giveaway POAPs that you can win after the live stream by answering some questions that I'll be sharing. Make sure that you're following Clocking Out, whether on Instagram or on X, and check out our social media post. I'll be pinning it attached to the link of this live stream, and you'll see a list of questions. Now, you can either post a public post answering those questions and tagging or mentioning Clocking Out, or you can respond in a comment to that post that I put up answering those questions, but you also must make sure that you tag or mention Clocking Out so that you can get credit. That will get you guys access to claim the Clocking Out VeeFriends Giveaway POAP number 4. All right. Now, again, for anyone watching, I want to make sure I got this all recorded. Now, for the Clocking Out Hustle Proof POAPs, those are strictly only for the people who join the live stream and who are active in the chat. All right. So the only 2 that get that today is Robert and Leonardo. Congratulations to you guys. Thank you guys for showing love and support always. I truly appreciate it. I'll be sending you guys a link in the DM shortly. I'm also going to come up with some more stuff, some more content to put up to make sure that we have all the right information. All right. Good night, Robert. Have a great night, man. I truly appreciate it. I'll see you guys. I love y'all. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Nah, we're good. I think I got everything. But again, when you're thinking about community, when you're thinking about support, you have to ask yourself, what's the reason behind it? Why are you building it? Why are you looking for it? What is it? Focus on that. Make sure that you follow your gut. Make sure you stay true to yourself. And remember, just because you are a character does not mean that you have character. I love y'all. Stay safe. Have a great night. Peace out.